So welcome back to Building Pig. This is part 3. So picking up where we left off, we are in the middle of developing what it looks like for a player to take a turn. Okay, so far we have so-and-so's turn, right? And of course it doesn't have to be player 1's name. And I'm going to fix that right now. It's not necessarily only player 1's turn. It's just whatever player is in here. So let's make sure that anybody coming in to look at our program doesn't think that it's only player 1 that's going to be in here. So let's just say player name. Okay, so where we left off was we rolled a number. If the roll was 1, we want to return 0 for that turn score. Otherwise, we want to keep rolling, and then eventually what we're going to do after this while loop, if they choose to stop, is to return their turn score down here. So just to help me not forget. And this is my kind of like, stubbing it out, just make sure I don't forget to do that. So let's go ahead and put these messages in. Right, so let's kind of say something like this. Oh no. And then we'll say player name. Got nothing on this turn. Okay, so let's say now that we've assumed that they haven't rolled a 1, we want to say something similar. So I'm just going to borrow this because I hate writing system out println or even sysout because you guys have seen me miss on that shortcut a zillion times. Okay, so let's just kind of change this to player 1 name has, and then let's say that whatever their turn score is right now so far. Right, and then it'll prompt them to roll again. So they get a 6 on their roll, it'll be like, Brian has 6 so far on this turn. Want to roll again? Yes or no? And if they say no, right? So if their choice was 2, player wants to roll will be false. The while loop will check player wants to roll. Nope, it's false. Then it'll just return turns. Actually, I could have just, this was such simple pseudocode that I could have probably just done this. There you go. And then let's actually print a message there too as well. Let's say player name cashed out with, and then the turn score, and then points. And then let's do a little bit of a line break here because I'm just assuming that it's going to look nicer if I do this to kind of like break up the game so it doesn't look like just like a long sort of cascading mess of text. Okay. All right, so this looks pretty good for the turn score. If there's a bug in here, I'll catch it eventually. So let's go ahead and look back up. Let's just make sure this is good, okay? So it's whatever player, it's player's turn, okay? Their turn score is 0. We're going to assume they want to roll, so we enter the while loop. The random roll is determined from 1 to 6. If it's a 1, oh no, you got nothing on this turn, return 0, then it's going to be the other person's turn. Otherwise, right, if it's not a 1, then the turn score gets incremented by whatever roll just happened. And then we want to inform that player, so far you have this many points. Would you like to keep rolling? If yes, then basically what's going to happen here is if they say 1, it's just going to go back up through the while loop. Player wants to roll will continue to be true. Otherwise, if they say 2, we'll assume that player does not want to roll anymore. And then we say, okay, they're going to cash out. So this player, so-and-so, cashed out with this many points. And then we go back and return whatever their turn score was. This looks pretty good. I don't see anything too wrong with that. Can you imagine how nasty this would look if we threw this into here, right? We'd have like a nested while loop and it would just look really hard to understand. Okay, so now we can look up here and we saved ourselves a lot of mess by just kind of exporting this player turn. Okay, so their turn score, remember, is going to come back and their player 1 score will be updated by that amount, so will player 2's score. Print pig results. Okay, so this is going to be almost the last one, I believe, and we're probably going to have to test this out and make sure it looks good and it works like we think it should. I don't really like it when my parameters run on that long. You're allowed to do this, by the way. A lot of people do. So let's go ahead then and print out. Okay, I'm going to do like a special, I don't know. That's kind of lame, but whatever. Actually, I really shouldn't do that. That looks ridiculous because the 8s are in there. Let's just do a bunch of asterisks. Okay, the game is over at this point. And then, so it depends. So I wanted to pass in both players' names and scores because it's possible that I want to say that player 1 won, and it's possible I want to say player 2 won, and I determined that based on their scores. Okay, so if it's the case that player 1 score I have my if statement. If it's the case that player 1 score is greater than player 2 score, this isn't a variable, then I want to say that player 1 won. So what we're going to see here is that the behavior is that if they both got over 100, I guess the person that got further over 100 is the winner. That's okay. All right, let's just kind of worry about that later if we don't like that. So what I want to say here is player 1 won the game. Otherwise, what I want to say then is the same thing but with player 2. Okay? Player 2 name won the game. And then maybe a little goodbye message. Do we have that already? No, let's do a little one. Like it's going to be like maybe a couple of these. Okay, I'm just trying to style it so that when I push go on the game, it looks pretty good. And then in here, I'm going to say, thanks for playing, Pig. If I can get it. Try to center it a little bit. Okay, so right now I think we've fleshed out everything that I've abstracted in the main loop, and now it's time to catch the bugs. Okay, I'm assuming that it all doesn't, oftentimes it doesn't go perfectly smoothly. So let's kind of try this here. So we're probably going to see that the formatting isn't great, but that's kind of normal. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so far so good. Let's say I'm going to be me. The other name is going to be my daughter. Pretty good. Okay, so we can probably fix the length of those lines. So good, I got a 6 on my roll. I want to continue to roll. Yeah. I got 10. Nice. Okay, I'll keep those 10. That seems like a pretty good start. So I'm going to hit 2. All right. Quinn's turn. Oh, no, and look, Quinn rolled a 1. What I want to do probably is say that what the roll was, right? So we're missing that, aren't we? So we can imply that Quinn rolled a 1, but I never saw that. So I'll go back and fix that. But let's see if this is working. I'm going to kind of see if I want to roll. Yes, I do. I have a 9. Let's keep rolling. 15, 19, 25, 29. Look at this roll. 35, 37, 43. This is a heck of a turn. 51. Am I going to go all the way here? Oh, I lost all 55 points because I rolled a 1. So, okay. I'm going to quit this game. It looks like it's working pretty well, but I really want to add that, I want to add that feature where I can see what the person rolled on the given turn. So let's go to player turn and kind of fix that. So right when it gets rolled, let's say what they rolled right here. Player name rolled, and then whatever the random roll was. Okay, now let's run it. See if I can get a winner here. Okay, this is going to be thrilling. It's going to be like suspenseful. So I'm going to keep going. At 16, that's pretty good. Okay, so Quinn rolled a 3. Let's let her keep rolling. All right, so I'm assuming this game is working pretty well. We're not going to get to the end of the game because my time's going to run out. So I'm going to go ahead and test this until it works, and then I'll show you what the end of the game looks like in the next video. And then we'll recoup what we did, and then maybe we'll try to build some robust features like handling ridiculous user input, which can be nice, especially when you show your games to your friends and they try to trick the game into breaking. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.